Hello everybody, it's Olive here. Good day or good evening, whatever part of the day it is for you. How are you doing? Welcome to my live. This is day 26, and if you're joining me live, day 26 of 30 in my Facebook Live challenge. So if you're joining me live, please say hi so I can shout out to you and have a conversation. And if you're joining me on replay, please type in replay, and I'd love to connect with you after I finish the live. So if we haven't met before, my name's Olive Dodd, and I'm doing a 30-day live challenge, and this is day 26. So we are on the home stretch, only a few more days left to go. And today the challenge that we have is to have no notes. So I have no notes today, and I'm going to tell you a story about how to be your best. And so, what else did I want to say? See, I lost my train of thought already. Okay, so here's the story. And it's a story about someone who finally did, anyway, I won't give the end away. Okay, so here we go. So his name was Al, and he was utterly useless. He said to his sister that he should not have been born and that he was a burden on his family. At the age of 22, he didn't have a job, and his family was very impoverished and they couldn't support him. And so he was trying to get a job, but nobody would hire him. So he appealed to a friend of his, and his friend's family had connections with the government. So he got an interview. He applied for a job at a patent office, and he got an interview, and the interview was with the director of the patent office. So he sat in the interview, and the director asked him about himself, and the position was for to find out if applicants that came in for a patent, if there was any validity to them. And so the director asked him what he knew about patents, and Al said absolutely nothing. So the director, who was the top person in this company, was curious about this person who was just so frank and sitting there in his office and didn't know anything about it, but yet he was applying for a job. So he asked him, he wanted to find out more about Al. So he found out that Al had flunked out of school or was kicked out of school, high school, at the age of 15. And so with no high school, no prospect of college, he applied to a technical school, but he flunked the entrance exam. So then he decided that he needed to go back to high school, but his high school would not accept him back because he had been such a failure there. So he did get accepted at another high school, which he passed. And then he did get into technical school. And then after technical school, he applied for jobs, but nobody would hire him because they found out that he had barely passed his exams. He had skipped a lot of classes, and he had treated all his professors very poorly. So here he was sitting in this patent office looking for a job, and the director thought, this guy has a lot of nerve. And so he had found out all the reasons why he should not hire him, and now he wanted to know reasons why he should hire him. So the interview continued for about 2 hours, and he found out a lot more about Al. And so he came to the conclusion that Al was not stupid, he had just been a failure. And if he could get over his failures, then he could make something of himself. So he decided to give him a break, and he offered him a job on a probationary basis. And so he got the job at the patent office. So Al was so inspired by his first success that he was determined to live up to it and find and become his very best. And he did that. And he became the genius that we know as Albert Einstein. So there you go. That's the story behind how Albert Einstein got started. And we all know how that turns out. So what you have done in the past does not define your future. And that's the moral, and that's the message, that no matter what you have done in the past, you can turn that around. Don't let that define you. And I just love that story. And so I love this quote that goes with it, that if you have never made a mistake, then you have never tried something new. So that's what we're doing here with these Facebook Lives. This is all new to a lot of us. And a lot of us are making mistakes, and but that's great. We're growing. And so it's the mistakes that we learn from and grow from. And so it's really wonderful. And just as a way of life too, is just to do your best, and don't worry about what you've done in the past. That doesn't define us, because we all have things in our past that we may not like. I know I certainly have some things, that skeletons in the closet, and, being young and silly and just, you do things, right? So, but that doesn't define who I am today. So that's the message that I wanted to get out today, and I just love that story. So believe in yourself and just have a little self-confidence. And that's all that Albert Einstein needed, is just that little boost, and away he went, So have that perseverance and that confidence. So that's my story for today. And if you've enjoyed that, please write down value down below. And I really appreciate everybody that I'm learning and growing with, and everybody that watches and participates with me. It's been such a beautiful journey, and we're just about to wrap it up. So, okay, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll be going live tomorrow. I have a very special guest, and I'll be doing that on my personal page. So look for me tomorrow about the same time, and to find out more about my guest and what my guest has to say. Okay, so wonderful. And yeah, be sure to type in your names on the replay, and I'd love to shout out to you again. All right, you have a wonderful day, and keep up that self-confidence. Okay, bye for now.